and do the same. If I haven't met you yet, like I said, my name is Nick. I live out in Minnesota. It is actually unseasonably warm this fall. It's been incredibly beautiful. And I have two little girls who are in school right now. Been drinking and sharing ketones for the last 8 years, and we're having a blast doing so. So I was just out in the Pacific Northwest, the PNW. Got to hang out there for the weekend. I see a bunch of you on here right now. Give me a little love if you were there with me. We had an incredible experience this weekend. We started out with a boat cruise. It was probably the most perfect day of the year in Seattle. It wasn't even hot. It wasn't cold. It was just perfection. Like you could wear a t-shirt and feel amazing on the water. That was crystal clear. Probably the most gorgeous view of the skyline of Seattle I've ever seen from a boat. We got to see the sights, got to hang out. I think we had 40, 50 promoters with us on this boat cruise. And Saturday was our Playbook event. If you were at the Playbook event, type I was there in the chat, so I know who is on here right now. We had people that drove from 5 minutes away, 10 minutes away, 20 minutes away, 30 minutes away, some from 2 or 3 hours, some from 5 or 6 hours. We had one that drove 15 hours from Alberta, Canada there. And then we had people that flew from all over the country to be there. In fact, a couple from Boston and Massachusetts, a couple from Florida. So it was just a super powerful event. And the fact that Brian Underwood flew up, Natalie Kilborn came in. It was just an incredible power-packed day of not just training and information, but just of the Prove It heart and the community and vision of what we're creating and where we're going. And then yesterday, we started the day with a team hike, a community hike. It was an incredible, we had a wonderful bus ride to a place where we hiked for about 4 miles to a waterfall. And it was super fun, super great experience. So in all of that, it wasn't just, right, it wasn't just ketones. It wasn't just, here's how you can post on Facebook. It was really feeling the heart, feeling the community and the understanding of really what we're doing. My biggest takeaway and take forward from the event is it's not getting all of the information or all of the details so that you can go and do something fancy. It's getting enough belief in yourself, getting enough belief in what we're doing so that you actually do a simple. And one of the most powerful exercises we do at all Playbooks, we should actually just do it on these Zooms more often, is just messaging people, hey, are you drinking ketones yet? Hey, I've got something you got to check out. And it's always eye-opening to me how many people have never done that, or how many people still have crazy, maybe they've been in for a year or 2 years or even 6 months or 6 years. Everybody has opportunity right here in their phone. People that they know, that know them, like them, and trust them, who've never heard about ketones. And the magic that happens when you ask them, are you drinking ketones yet, is just incredible, because there are people that ordered trial packs after that message. There are people that signed up as customers. There are people that are now considering joining our community as a promoter just because somebody reached out, right? Just because somebody said, hey, you got to check this out. So, like I said, I'm not going to talk for very long. I've got a few things to wrap up with at the end, but I've got Justin Murrell on, and Justin's just going to have a few people share. And I'm inviting you to listen, not from the eyes of, oh gosh, I wasn't there, I didn't get to experience this. Listen to some of these shares and glean what you can take away from. Because as I hear other people's experiences of an event, I always gain more than I actually got from the event myself. Because when I go to that event, I take the event in through my filter, right? Through my lens, through my reality. And the truth is, if there's 150, 200 people on an event, there's 200 different events taking place, 200 different experiences and different viewpoints that are being had. And when you get to kind of see it from those lenses, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I didn't hear it that way. That's interesting. I like that. So Justin's got, he had an amazing crew, and the crew up in the Pacific Northwest really helped to lead this event and put it on and did all the logistical legwork. So huge shout out and thank you for all of you guys that supported that. And I'm excited just to hear some takeaways and experiences of people that were there. So Justin, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Nick. Can you guys hear me? Good to go.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So, real quick, if you don't know me, my name is Justin. I've been drinking and sharing ketones for 5 years. I was a police officer before this, and I wasn't looking for this. I'd like to get that out there because I was sniffing around this product because I wanted to lose some fat. And I'm going to kind of piggyback what Nick said. One of my takeaways from this event was the vision, right? When I drank ketones, my mentor at the time, Michael, he peekabooed the vision of what this was as well, if it worked. And that's what kept me in the game when, maybe I had some stomach issues or I thought it wasn't working. But I was peekabooed the vision and it kept me going until I got bit by the bug. And to have a room with Nick Martinez, Brian James, Brian Underwood, Sarah Ramos, just everybody who was there, right? People who have done it, normal, everyday people. It reminded me that when I sign somebody up, I'm not just giving them a box, right? I want to peekaboo the vision of what could happen because that's really the only reason I'm here. I was able to retire from law enforcement after 13 years and do one of these things. I mean, I just built the house in a new state. It's completely unreal. And the vision behind our product, I think, is one of the biggest parts and the community. So I want to highlight some of the people that also helped everybody. I can't rattle through your names, but everybody who put in effort towards this weekend, like it was absolutely amazing. It worked out better than I think we even imagined. So I'm going to call on some of the people that sent me texts this morning on sharing what you learned from the event. When you share, kind of give us a quick rundown of who you are, and then we want your biggest takeaway from the event, and then what are some action steps that you're going to take, moving forward. So, Marcy, are you on here? And if you are, go ahead and unmute yourself and give us a quick share.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I'm a little bit tired after our event here, but I had a couple takeaways, and one leads into the other. One of the comments that Brian James had made, and that's the first time I've seen him speak, and I was, about the getting your motivation back and your movement back. But when he said a lot of people are pushed to be legends, like in the business sense, but he said, be that legend for your family. And that just really touched me because I don't have a lot of family, but it's like, I need to step up and be that legend for my family. And moving forward, they had Mandy Mitchell's son, Jack, speak, and to watch the pride in her eyes, and she was crying because her sons took hold of that mic and just stole the room for the moment. And so I just thought, it was like, she's being that legend for her family. I just put that together and I thought that was absolutely amazing. And I felt so blessed to be there. And, that was just an amazing weekend. I've been to a couple events now, and damn, we did good. It was just so much fun. So thanks, everybody.
Awesome, Marcy. Real quick, if somebody new is watching, what did you learn while you were there that you kind of put into action, or something that maybe you'll work on?
They put us in the groups and told us to send those 5 messages out on our phone. And I'm going through my phone, and me, it's like 90% of my people are already in Prove It because, that's my family. But I did send 5 messages and got 5 responses back. One person's already drinking of them, and the other 4, we're going to have that conversation. So that daily actions, take those actions, they do work.
Absolutely. And I'm going to be honest, when everybody was saying, thank you, Marcy, I appreciate it. And thanks for everything you did. When they were like, okay, guys, get into small groups and we're going to send out 10 messages, I was like, I'm going to go pretend to be on the phone. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to dodge this because I don't need that. right? And then we got into a group, and evidently I had to help lead. So I did it. I sent out 10. I got one gentleman enrolled, some guy who's just following me on Instagram. The thing is that every day you are still in the game with Prove It. When you reach back out to somebody, it's a different invite. Nobody sticks to anything. I've been doing something for 5 years now. So the guy who said no 2 years ago, when I ask him again now, it's different because he might be in a different spot. He might have credit card debt. He might have put on some extra weight, whatever. So just remember, if you're being authentic, inviting people to the party, they might be ready to party. So that's something important. Tabatha Johnson from the PNW, I see you sitting in the car. Would you like to share? All right.
Hey, everybody, how's it going? For those of you that don't know me, my name is Tabatha. I've been drinking and sharing ketones for a little over 2 years. My biggest takeaway from the event this weekend was that I was just dreaming too small. I've allowed my limiting beliefs to get in the way and, was playing small to be safe. And this weekend, having Nick Martinez and Chris Webb and, people that you admire and what they do in their everyday lives step up and show you what's possible, it removes that filter. It gives you, that hope that, you know what, I can do this. I'm very capable of this. If they can do it, so can I. My action step that I took home and worked on is my innate statement and my, getting my mind right, set for the day. I got up this morning early, wrote some things down, wrote down some affirmations. Did it feel weird? Absolutely. Is it going to work? Absolutely, because I'm going to keep doing it. We learned some things this weekend that I think it's not only going to affect my Prove It business, but my everyday life. So for me, the biggest takeaway was mindset. I have to get my mindset where I need it to be in order for me to help all the people that I want to around me. It's not about, yes, we all want financial freedom and all of that, but like Marcy said, I want to step up and be the legend for my family, not just for, to have a cool car with a wrap on it. So going forward, my goal is to, make sure that my mindset is where it needs to be every day and putting in the work to make sure that that is applicable and it stays true and, spreading that love as far and wide as I can. So I'm super proud of us. We did a fantastic job this weekend and, it was incredible. It was incredible. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And tell your husband thank you for coming. I think it's amazing.
Oh, yeah. So, Justin, let me tell you, I asked Jason, you guys, those of you that know Jason know that he says about 5 words a day. He doesn't speak very much in general. I asked him what his takeaways were, and his takeaway was that he needs to not be so closed off. He says, I spent so many years in the military just protecting what we had. He said, it never even occurred to me that there was a life outside of that. He said, so in order for me to be where I need to be for you, he said, I need to open up and I need to let Prove It in because Prove It has changed everything for you and will change everything for our family. So that was huge. If nothing else, like for him to have that was more than I could ever ask for. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm very excited. I saw him light up this weekend. So, Katie Fish, I see you on the screen right now. Would you like to rip real quick on a quick share on one of your biggest takeaways and then action step?
One of my biggest takeaways. Hi, I'm Katie. I've been drinking and sharing ketones now for 3 years. The PNW put on an incredible event. So thank you to everybody that had their hands in it because it was amazing. Showing up, I really was just gonna show up. I just wanted to show up and be involved, but I really went in there without what did I want out of it. Brian talked a lot about silent quitting. And I was kind of mindset. I was there. I didn't know if I was going to stay on this horse and ride it like Seabiscuit, like I had in the beginning. And by the time I left, and you look around the room and you are shoulder to shoulder with people like Kim and Frank, that you shared a journey with them. You don't get off that horse. You just keep running. I was really excited that I got to bring my family to their first Prove It event. 5 minutes in, my kids were bored. But my husband got to listen. And I realized when we left that I didn't want to keep running anymore because I felt like I was leaving them behind. And so when he walked out, he said, I realized I don't have a why at all. I'm just the husband. I take care of the bills and I take care of my family. But other than that, I have no goals. I have no desire. And so all day yesterday, we sat by the fire and we went over every project he has. And to see him wake up this morning with a burning desire for his own goals to move our family forward, that was it for me. That we are 100% in and going to change our lives and let people follow us. So we're excited for the next year with Prove It and many more to come. Sorry for crying again, but I
No,
followed. Emotions were high.
you guys are amazing. You're gonna break me. I still got a couple more people, but I love you guys and you guys are all crushing it. So congratulations. Frank and Kim, we brought your names up. So I don't know if one or both of you guys are on here. Frank, you had sent me a text. Are you available to do a quick share? And if not, that's okay. I'll go to the next one and then we'll see if he.
I can come off mute. I
Roger
think
that.
Kim's getting the boys ready for school. They got late start today, so they're getting showers and everything. My name is Frank. I've been drinking and sharing ketones. Katie, you made me super emotional. I love it. I've been drinking and sharing ketones for over 2.5 years. And the spot that we were in before, this community has helped us tremendously. I've always been kind of scared of my own shadow, I guess, so to speak. I was saying to somebody this weekend, like I'm a half introvert, half extrovert. Like if I hear something from somebody, like I can go talk to them, but I'm not just going to go up to them and just speak to them and say, "Hey, my name's Frank. How's it going? You know, like what's up?" And that's never been me. After this event and having to do those text messages or make those phone calls or anything, one of my biggest takeaways was from all the leaders that went up and spoke, and I got to speak to Chris Webb a little bit one-on-one, and basically is what they told me is just do it. Don't think about it, just do it. That's most of our biggest problems is people think about things too much and they don't act on what they're thinking about. So one of my action steps is to now just do it. Also with the bus ride home, Tabatha had asked a question and Nick answered it perfectly because I've been trying to figure out the same question. She asked, how do you fit this business into your day when you have a job? Nick answered it so perfectly that you go to your job, you do your job. When you come home, you are now in the Prove It business. You do your Prove It job. get those messages out there, contact people, and just don't wait. Get on the throttle, ride that horse like Seabiscuit, cross the finish line, and connect like no other. Lately, a lot of it has been me and my wife have just been trying to do things ourselves because we feel sometimes that some people just don't answer or we're not getting the help that we desire. And it doesn't work by yourself. James Rice has said this from the very beginning since we started. You cannot do this business by yourself. It will not work. It will fail. So yeah, that's just some of my biggest takeaways was just to do it. And that momentum circle, that was super primo. Brian James nailed it on the head. Everything revolves back to belief. Just believe that you can do it, know that you can do it, and you will do it. And I just want to give a shout out to the PNW crew. We smashed this weekend, and I want to give a shout out to all the top leaders, Brian, Natalie, Nick, all you guys. Thank you. We appreciate you more than you know. That's what I got. Thanks, Justin.
Money. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate it. I got a few more here. JBear, are you on here and available?
Is that Jason Steinberg?
Yes.
Okay.
Or yeah, it should say JBear, I believe.
It doesn't.
Yeah, JBear 1910. Boom. I think you're good to unmute, JBear, if you can. If not, we can come back to you.
Oh, my bad. I got a lot going on. I didn't hear you call me out. Hey, good
Oh,
morning,
no, you're good.
everybody. JBear. I'm new, so I've been drinking and sharing ketones for like 5 months. And so you can imagine how overwhelmed I was with this weekend. One of the things that made it really good for me is, I don't know, all the top dogs. So I was looking at everybody as if we're shoulder to shoulder. And so what that does for me is it allows me to not be starstruck, and I can just listen for content. So I showed up Saturday morning with a strong vision and high motivated to make this happen. The problem that I struggled with was the motivation and the vision. But I didn't have all the tools to make those come to fruition. And so there was about 15 or 20 solid minutes of clear-cut, concise direction on how to move that forward. And one of the things that I'm able to put into immediate application is, so I've taken care of like everybody that's in my immediate circle. And I know for a fact that there are other people just on the fringe, on the outskirts, watching what I'm doing and keeping an eye. But there was a level of hesitation of pulling that trigger on them. And then Keto Pops was like, dude, just keep popping them, right? I'm not gonna, I don't want anyone to die, but the idea is that the worst they could say is no. And even if they weren't watching and I hit them, well, and they say no, well, guess what? Now they're probably gonna start watching. And so it creates an opportunity for later. So I've got a cousin who's absolutely fantastic. And she's got a social media following and all that stuff, but I would have been hesitant to reach out to her. She's an entrepreneur, and she and I are going to talk today, and I'm going to get her plugged in. And maybe next event I'll be parking my cool car out there with the other cool car gang, and we'll see what's happening. But anyways, I'm just stoked. I've got a fire. One of the things that I've been struggling with, so I've got this job that's keeping me out of town now. So I've got a vision that if I could plug one person while I'm here in Eugene, I could plug another person while I'm in Boise, then, they can do the rest of the work, right? They can connect their friends and family, and I've got that network there. But I was struggling to make that cold call, and I've spoke with Aaron about this, and I spoke with Justin about this. And one of the things that it's just a change
I think you just hit mute, JBear. Hey, Jason, you muted yourself on accident. I don't know if admin can unmute him.
The cover for that is, I'm wearing this dirty sweatshirt and this old tired Mariner jersey and these work boots, and I'm in here acting as if I'm a construction manager. But my real purpose is to get these dudes plugged in. And I've got 7 or 8 guys in here right now that as soon as we get done with this, with Zoom, I'm gonna be in behind that plastic making it happen. So I love you guys. Thanks for letting me share. Like I said, I'm new. I'm still learning, but I've got a fire and I've got a desire and the vision. So you guys keep feeding me the tools. I'll keep doing the best that I can. Love you guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you, JBear. I appreciate it. The part you probably missed with what he was saying was, somebody just asked, what do you do when you have a job? How do you fit in, prove it? I worked undercover, okay? I used to teach nerdy little cops how to go undercover in the weirdest positions. If you have a job, it's perfect. Shine your light there. Have a conversation with your leader, wear some swag, shake your ketone bottle up. There's tons of things. So you're actually in a really good spot if you got a job, and your leader can probably help you with that. Okay, Kaylee Kell. And then Nick, you can stop me because I could do this all day.
Okay. So, my name's Kaylee Kell, and I'm from a little tiny town called Prairie City, Oregon. I spent 18 hours in the car to and from this event with my mom and one of my new people, Quincy. And I've been drinking ketones for a year and a half. I've lost 100 pounds. And my biggest takeaway was being able to bring my mom and my friend and seeing that fire get lit. My friend Quincy was not into it at all. She was like, we have to go and sit somewhere for 8 hours. Like, can I play on my phone? And I was like, you won't want to, but yes, sure. And she was sitting there taking notes the whole time. She's contacted at least 10 people since we've been back. And that was the biggest thing for me, was to bring somebody else and to see that fire get lit with them as well. I could talk to people every day, but to see somebody else light up with that fire was the biggest thing for me. And then the car ride home, we were just talking and going over what the next steps were. And my mom's already got plans to talk to like 6 people this week. And I'm going to be big on sharing more too, and just doing the personal conversations with people. And I'd kind of let it go. I'd had some stuff come up and I was still doing my sharing, but I wasn't reaching out to anybody. And as of today, I'm going to be reaching out to more people again. And it's gonna go boom.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. And thanks for bringing somebody to the party. What Kaylee's talking about, I don't know if you guys have heard of tap rooting. We talk about it later, but when you enroll somebody and then you bring somebody in their network, if the person you enroll isn't like on 100 of excitement, but they sign up their aunt who used to drive a pink car for Mary Kay and she lights it up, guess what? You have 2 levels of people who are now excited. The person below them is providing energy for the rest of them. So I think it's amazing. Nick, do you want me to? I got one more, Ken and Teresa. Roger that. Hi, Ken. We're going to make you co-host and then you can rip.
Hey, how you guys doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Holy crap. That's all I'm going to say. You guys, this was such a frigging amazing weekend. So the last year, firstly, I'm Ken Williams. We're from Puyallup, Washington. We've been drinking ketones 2.5 years. Frank and Kim Baines are who brought us into it. And They were obnoxious and they kept bugging and bugging and bugging us, but their transformation is what made the change. So believe in yourself, do it. That's the first thing I can tell you. We've been to most every Prove It event in the last year and a half. We were at Dallas Playbook, and I can just tell you, PNW team, you kicked ass. You took names. You guys did an amazing frigging job. And it's the heart. It's your heart, caring about other people and wanting to make a difference. Nick, Sarah, all of the Prove It leadership that came, we appreciate you guys. You brought so much love and energy to us. Just want to share that gratitude with you guys. So I had so many takeaways. I've rewritten my notes about 50 times just so that I stayed on point. I'm going to make just a couple of points. One, life is about showing up. Like I said, we've been to all these events and stuff, but this one was different. The heart, the energy, seeing our friends, our peers, and seeing them get what we've been able to get was so much more powerful. You just never know what you're going to learn. Many times we look at people, and I look at people and I'm like, man, I know what it took to get where I'm at in my job. And I see other people in this, and I'm like, man, that's just so much work and stuff. But on the bus ride with Nick, he shared his story. And I heard a different side of Nick that just absolutely touched my heart, because he shared where he came from, the failures and successes he had, and the never give up attitude. And it's like, oh my God, he's no different than us. He just did it longer and he worked at it. He didn't give up on himself. He believed in himself. And so Nick, thank you from the bottom of my heart, because it made a big impact. Get skate Gibby in the fields. I don't do that. We got called to action in the workshop, and it was really pretty powerful, because I'm not afraid of talking to people. I talk to people all the time, but there was so much power in that room, because there were so many people. When they gave the instruction, get out your phone, text 5 people. And you could see probably 2/3 of the people looking around at other people, and the bewilderment on a handful of the faces was pretty powerful, right? But we all did it. We all did it. And it was afterwards, you could see people sitting a little taller, because it wasn't as scary as they were making it be, myself included. I decided to follow that same pattern yesterday. I've already followed that pattern this morning. I've sent out 15 messages. I got 8 campfire videos out. I've got 4 appointments set up to get samples to people, and 1 person to jump on the phone with. It works. It's our own fear of doing something. We had a chance to talk to Nick and ask some questions about logistics and follow-up and just random stuff, things that we've gotten our own way about. And he made a comment about draw out 100 spots, 100 names. And so last night, I was thinking about that this morning. I got up when I was doing my workout. I drew out 100 spots on a paper. And I wrote down the 5 people from Saturday, the 5 people from Sunday, 5 people that I've sent today. And I'm already celebrating that. It's just amazing. I'm so fired up about it. Show up early, stay late, shift your belief. You don't have to be perfect. Jack Mitchell, when he shared, all I can say is my heart is as a father, as a husband, is I want the best for my kids, and seeing the impact that the Mitchells have had on their son and the future that young man has and the ripple effect he will have. Each and every one of us want that for our kids. I can only imagine how we're going to change the freaking world if we put into this and we teach our kids and instill these values. I mean, it's just amazing where we're going to go with this. Prove It is amazing. Prove It, the ketones are amazing, but this community is so much bigger, so much more powerful. There's so much more here. People, all I can say is I'm excited for Boston. If that playbook, when the details are out about the Boston playbook, I can't wait to take a crew of people there. It's not about epic. It's not about anything. Man, people need to be at Playbook. They need to feel the heart and soul of this business. I will tell you, showing up and engaging, you don't have to be perfect. Trust me, when you sit down after hours and Brian Underwood, Nick, Sarah, about 25 people are sitting there doing karaoke, and you hear the singing and you see the twerking of Natalie and Sarah's moves. Let me tell you, you don't have to be perfect. Do it, show up, have a blast. This is a freaking amazing opportunity. And this is my parting comment. If somebody's laying on the ground choking, you're not going to get your phone out and stare at it for 3 minutes trying to figure out how to do CPR. You're going to put your butt in motion. You're going to grab that person and you're going to start giving them the Heimlich maneuver. You're going to start doing whatever you got to do to get them breathing again. Quit trying to be perfect. Get your ass in gear. That's my message to myself. Love you guys. You guys rock.
Awesome. Thank you, Ken. I'm going to kick it over to Nick. I just want to say this while they turn mute off or whatever. 5 years ago, I knew nobody. I didn't even know what ketones were. About 5.5 years ago, we just had an event in the PNW that our team has really tried to manifest since day one. We were always like, we'd love to get Brian up there. We'd love to do this. We'd love to do that. I'm telling you, wherever you're at right now, if you feel by yourself and maybe you only have some people online, if you start giving this energy belly to belly, you will create a region. Remember, everybody's scared to do this, right? Because what if it works? What if it doesn't? If you pull back the curtain on the product, you can pee on a stick. Next question, please, right? And the community is just as real. You could not come in that room yesterday and not feel the real feels. Everybody and their brother's crying this morning. So if you believe it, it's just a matter of time. And then you can turn it up based on speed with all the nuts and bolts that you're learning from these amazing leaders. So thank you, Nick. Thank you, Prove It, for taking the time and the logistics and everybody who showed up.
I love it. Give it up for Justin and his crew. Thank you guys for sharing all your feedback and your takeaways. So powerful. I think the common theme in all of that was like, holy smokes, this actually is simple. I can do this. This does work. It's amazing what action, like Brian James talked about, he called it the momentum cycle. He said your belief, right? Then you have your action, then you have results, which then yields more beliefs. So you have the potential or the vision of what you're going to do fueled by belief. You take action, then you get results, then it fuels your belief. Well, it's hard to have that cycle go if there's no action, right? And one of the things that oftentimes stops is activity, right? You get a few no's, a few people said no, they weren't interested, or maybe they didn't respond. So then you slow your roll and you talk to a few less people. And the next thing you know, you're not actually talking to people. You're just hopping on Zooms. You're feeling like you're doing the business, but the action, the actual activity is slowed down. So it's amazing when you get a group of 150 people to all send out 5 messages. Well, that's 750 conversations that were just started, and most of them probably sent 5 to 10. So it's probably closer to 1,000 or more people that learned about ketones, maybe for the first time in that room. Well, there's 93 people on the Zoom right now. If everybody just spent 5 minutes after the Zoom sending a message saying, hey, question, are you drinking ketones yet? Or hey, question, have you ever done the ketogenic diet? Found something that's not the diet that gives you the same results and it's amazing. Do you want to know about it? Guess what would happen? Like, you'd realize, holy smokes, this isn't that hard. And at the same time, you'd have more belief. So you'd be a little bit more excited. The conversations would go even better, and you'd probably take more of them. And next thing you know, you realize, okay, I can do this. I can do this. So I'm going to leave you with this. Prove It's going to have a lot of stuff coming up between now and the end of the year and kicking into 2024. The best way to set up your 2024, which is going to be just a massive run for Prove It, and it can be for you, is just the action that you take on a daily basis. And somebody referenced conversations that we had on the bus, and one of the things I was just talking about was I have been consistent in this business since day one. I've been consistent at what I have done since I started, and it didn't always happen like this. It didn't mean that my consistency paid off immediately. Right? My consistency paid off over time, and eventually I saw the results. So it may not be the 5 conversations that you start today. It may not be the 5 conversations that you start tomorrow. But I do know that if you have at least a couple conversations every day for the next month, for the next 2 months, for the next 3 months, for the next 6 months, for the next 2 years, you're going to see a massive impact. And that massive impact of people having transformation and life change with ketones, guess what? That leads to a massive income, a massive business. You being able to call the shots that you want in your life. So tomorrow night we have another Prove It Live. If you can, like, hopefully you've gotten the rhythm by now. We have a calendar that's gone out. You see on Tuesday nights we're having product focused, like conversations with doctors around the power of ketones. Tomorrow's all about the brain. All about being able to focus, all about brain fog, all about why do ketones help the brain. And I believe it's Dr. Ryan Lowry that's going to be on. So it's going to be incredible. So anybody that you've messaged, that you are messaging, any customers that you have, any promoters that you have should be on that to learn more. It validates the conversation. It just creates that true, like, okay, we have our hands on something that's completely legitimate, completely powerful, and we can't go a day without having. Thursday, it's going to be Meet the Community. It's, again, opportunity focused. It will be more stories from our community, hearing how this has impacted people and the financial side, the community side. It'll be really, really powerful. Those are 2 more opportunities to connect and to follow up and to really keep getting this in front of people so they can make a decision. One of the things we talked about this weekend was just follow, like the ACE with the stutter, which is attract, connect, experience, enroll. But we have to do connect. You might have to connect people 14, 15, 20 times before they're ready, right? So these are our opportunities to do so. This is our opportunity to follow up and invite again. So let's take those seriously. If we don't, like, if you're leading a team of promoters and you're not on it and promoting it, then they're not going to. Right. So these calls, these lives that we're doing are only as good as the utilization that we have of them, of the number of people that we help see the information and use as an excuse to invite them again. So keep that in mind. We have our Huddle call Wednesday. And then we have Cancun. I know many of you qualified and are going to be in Cancun, which will be awesome. Stay tuned because there are probably going to be a couple more Playbook opportunities. For sure, we have one in Boston on November 4th. You heard that mentioned. There's a potential for something happening in Missouri, maybe Kansas City area, endish of October. That hasn't been set in stone yet, but put that on your radar if you're in that area. And then, of course, Epic. All roads lead to Epic. So if you don't have your Epic tickets yet, make sure you have them. Make sure they're registered. If you have other people that are new or maybe haven't made that commitment, connect them with whoever you're working with, and let's get people there. And it'll just be more powerful than anything they can imagine. So thank you, everybody, for sharing. Thanks for being on today. Happy Monday. Happy kickoff to the last week of September. This is the last week. It's always the best week of the month. Let's have some fun with it, and we'll talk to you all soon. Bye, guys. Thank you.